Hey class, welcome back. Obviously, you know who I am, Dr. Zwickl, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're starting to adjust to this new reality of us all being at home for the next several weeks or potentially months. Our IT campus looks a whole lot different. There's way fewer people. There's some faculty that are still on campus trying to do what I'm doing, which is prep for courses to move fully online. But otherwise, it is like a ghost town. It's pretty weird. But I'll miss getting together in person with you. But I really hope we can make this just a really productive and stimulating and interesting remainder of the semester. I think we'll be surprised how much good stuff we can do online. I mean, it's going to take some extra work. I'm definitely having to do some new things. I'm disappointed that you won't get to do, some of the hands-on optics stuff, but we still have a lot to do for labs. If at any point, right, during this semester you get ill with coronavirus or anything else, definitely reach out right away. We're going to be extra flexible with due dates and timings and things like that, knowing that different people are affected by this in different ways. I'll do my best to set some reasonable expectations for things, but I fully realize that there's just going to be things that don't go according to plan, like most everything so far. So just be in touch. And I hope you and your families are safe and well. So I'm talking to you from home, and that's where I'll be creating a lot of the lecture content for this course. I'm still going in working on some of the lab stuff, but I hope to be done actually by the end of this week with that. So in terms of what's going to happen going forward for the lecture, I'm going to post lectures on YouTube. You'll find the links to them on my courses. I'm not going to make a publicly viewable YouTube channel. At least I'm tempted to not do that, just to avoid copyright issues. So that way, if I use a diagram from our textbook or something like that, there's just no issues with having to worry about it looking like I'm portraying that as my own creation. I'm not trying to get 1 million likes. I'm just trying to make some good content available for you all this semester. So one thing that I've been playing around with is I can still write in Sketch, and I know that you really love derivations, right? Who doesn't love a good derivation? And so I'll be using this program called Autodesk Sketchbook, and what it looks like on my end is I actually have this tablet device, which you can see here, and has like a pen with touch sensitivity. So it's just a USB accessory, but it lets me write hopefully pretty neatly, right? So let's see, Maxwell's equation. Oh goodness. Did not see that one coming. So with the tablet and the pen, I'm able to actually write out derivations pretty naturally, right? So it takes a little bit of practice getting used to, but hey, what am I thinking? That's the charge density, not some sort of initial charge density. So even the eraser function works pretty good. And I should have a dot product in there. So so this is kind of what the on-screen derivations are going to look like. You'll get to watch them in real time, and they'll just be part of the screencast. And so I'll switch back and forth between using Sketchbook as like my whiteboard and using PowerPoint to present some of the other content. I can also kind of draw on the PowerPoint screens too, which is a new feature. So we'll play with that. It'll probably seem a little bit clunky at first, and just bear with me. I'm trying my best to. So let's move that out of the way. So in terms of other things going on with the lecture portion of the course, there'll still be assignments due. So for instance, homework 2 and homework 3 both had some pencil and paper portion of that, and that should be submitted on my course's assignment folders. So there's several apps. If you don't have access to like an actual scanner, there's several apps for a phone that will act as a scanner. So just do that. Please take a look at the PDF that it generates first and ask yourself, could Dr. Zwickl easily read all that? You know, particularly where pencil strokes might get lighter. Sometimes the scans kind of amplify the contrast, and so sometimes the dark stuff gets really dark, and then the light stuff sort of fades to white. So please just look at it and make sure I can read it. And you might have to tweak some settings about how to adjust the contrast or whatever. Yeah, so just take a look at it and make sure it's readable. And if it is, then I will say thank you very much, and we'll go from there. Okay, also just due dates have been extended. Obviously we had the 1-week extension due to spring break, and I pushed things back even like another half week or so past that. So, so the due dates on homeworks 2 and 3 have been extended. So in terms of what's happening in lab, we're going to do 4 more labs. These are Poisson spot, Mach-Zehnder interferometer, polarization optics, and one to do with these Fresnel equations, which have to do with kind of the fraction of light that reflects or transmits as a function of both angle of incidence and also the polarization state of the light. So, so those are the 4 remaining labs. And what that's going to look like is I've been prepping some demo videos that show you how the lab was set up and the data was collected. So I have a pretty sweet YouTube channel that I'm working on right now. As you can see, my first videos I took were unfortunately vertical. I was kind of new to taking videos with my phone, and so I kind of forgot that everyone's computer monitors are horizontal. But essentially, you know, what these videos are going to be like. Hello class, so we are on to our second lab. This is the Mach-Zehnder interferometer lab. I learned something since the last video, and this one is shot in landscape mode, same as your computer monitors, so that's an improvement. The Mach-Zehnder interferometer, if we look at it from above, what we see is we've got the laser, and then so in addition to talking through some of the basics for it, you know, also show you how the data was collected. So you'll get a few data sets that actually came from this same setup, that detector. And so if we take a look at the interference signal that we see up on the Digilant, what we see are two different signals. Nudge the mirror, what we'd actually see is... Yeah, so anyway, you know, that's what you're going to see are these videos of the actual lab setup. They'll show you what data was collected, what was seen on screen, and then we'll save CSV files from the Digilant along with the screenshot of what was up on the scope screen. This is for the Mach-Zehnder interferometer lab, but hopefully my plan is to get you know, a series of these short videos for each of the 4 remaining labs. So I'm halfway done so far. So let's see. Let's move that out of the way. So in addition, you know, because you're not collecting the data, although I want you to understand where the data came from and kind of physically how things were built, because that'll help you a lot in terms of the modeling and data analysis you have to do later. So the idea is for each of these labs, there's going to be some questions we want to ask about the data set, or maybe we want to apply some of the models that we're building in the lecture portion of the class to explain the data, and so that'll be the chief task. So they'll be pretty rich in computational modeling, in working with the data and trying to find ways to match the model up to the data. So they'll be pretty rich on the Python and data analysis end, and I think those are extremely valuable skills. I'm glad you got some of the hands-on stuff, both with the electronics and the optics early on, but you know, we won't really have much of that from here on out. So all right, and then because everything is going to be in Jupyter Notebooks, everything's going to be submitted via Jupyter Hub for lab, just like for now. All right, so in terms of staying in touch, of course, there is email. We'll do some of that, but primarily I'm hoping to do a couple of things. One is I want all of the instructors in the course, so that's me, Dr. L, Dr. Hubbard, to hold some sort of virtual office hours using Zoom. Tentatively, I'm going to plan to be available noon to 1 Eastern Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll send out a link to a Zoom meeting that you can join that'll basically be like a recurring meeting that will happen at that time. Now, if based on what time zones you all are in, we can find a better time to meet, yeah, I'm open to do that. But since this noon to 1 worked back when we were on campus, hopefully it still works now. It's not a bad time for me. There's going to be some details posted on Slack in my courses, so expect those by Friday of this week, so Friday the 20th. And then the other thing we're going to use to stay in touch, and I think this will be really helpful, is we're going to use Slack. And that'll allow us to do some more asynchronous discussion and allow everybody to sort of help everybody else. And that's where we're going to ask all kinds of questions about any of the lecture content, any of the stuff you're stuck on in homework, labs, etc. And I want all those questions more or less to be asked to the community. Because if you're struggling with something because maybe it's just not clear in the way I wrote a question or something like that, I want you to be able to just put that question out there and get help from me or one of the other instructors or one of the other students if they happen to have already figured it out already. Let's really just treat our classes like a community of learners. Now's not the time to worry about really trying to impress anybody. Let's just try to be good neighbors, virtual neighbors, and help each other out as best as we can. So the channel name is SOPA Physical Optics 2020, and let me pull that up. Oop, not that. Slack, where are you? There you are. All right, so this is what the Slack channel looks like. There's going to be a general channel for just stuff related to anything about the general course operation, but not about the physics content or about the homeworks. I'll make a channel for every single homework, so basically, we can start discussions about the particular homeworks and questions people have. And then I'll have a channel for each of the labs that we do, both the past couple labs that people may have a little bit of work left to do on, and then all the labs going forward, and there'll also be a channel for lecture. And the idea is, that is, you're going to want to post your stuff in the channel that makes sense, and that, that'll just be where our discussion happens. I'll have the app on my phone and I'll try to get back to you quickly, but it's going to be asynchronous, and so it won't be instantaneous communication, but it'll keep the discussion going much better than if we only met face to face, say like during our regular class time. And Dr. L and Dr. Hubbard are also on there, so especially when it comes to the labs, they may be able to chip in and help get back to you quickly on those things too. So that is more or less what we have to look forward to. I have I'll have a modified syllabus posted by Friday, so it'll have some of the same details that are in this video, yeah, I guess this is it. This is our brave adventure into online learning. So I appreciate your patience with me. A lot of stuff to figure out. But most of all, right, I hope we can all just stay well through this time. And if any, just circumstances come up, just let me know. Let me know. If you've got anything more personal, say related to health or or maybe just other academic concerns beyond just the course operation, definitely let's keep that on email. So we'll keep email for the stuff that is kind of more private between professor and student. But just for the more general stuff that is just about learning the physics and the course operation, let's keep all that on Slack. So yeah, so this is Dr. Zwickl signing off. Hope you're well, and I'll see you soon.